Well, alright guys, so we're back on the old Durango here that's been neglected. Not really. It's been sitting dormant for a month or two or three. I think I've driven it once or twice into town to get coffee, you know, that sort of thing. I got some gas in it, but I got it started back up here. I just took it for a lap here. Just get everything warmed up to operating temp. And so, I don't know, I'm trying to remember where we left off here. Well, I know where we left off. Let me turn that off for you. There. We've got, I'll move the jump box. Not this connector, but in here, we've got a new transmission harness plug right here. And this should be our Lord and Savior, our solution to all of our problems. Probably not, but I'm holding out some hope here, guys. I don't know. I think I paid $30 or something for this on Amazon. But we gotta replace that harness, and it sucks to get at. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna locate and cut ourselves an access panel from up here, because that's how much I care about this vehicle. Actually, it's more along the lines of that's how much effort I'm going to put into this vehicle. Other than that, it still needs to be thoroughly deep cleaned. It needs to have all the carpets pulled out and washed in some fashion. It needs to be scrubbed down. Everything needs to be scrubbed down. Really, the entire interior needs to be taken apart. Any offending foreign material, such as mouse houses, mouse apartments, and mouse condominiums, must be removed from the premises. And any other dirt, debris, junk should be taken out, and then everything scrubbed down and put back in. So that's two things on our list: transmission, interior. I think number 3 is to figure out the wore out suspension components after that and make this drive a little bit nicer. That's 3 things. Number 4, that headlight you saw that's taped on there, that needs to be addressed. Needs the connectors are junk. Really it needs new pigtails and everything wired in, because those are junk. They're corroded, they're loose in the fitting, they don't have good continuity, they just need to be replaced, or the problem will continue to reoccur. That's 4. Number 5, I believe, is to put air in that tire. Actually, to take that tire off, put air in it, spray it, find the leak, seal it. But yeah, that tire likes to run low from sitting. Number 6, I would say, is to replace that rear hatch, or at the very least the lock on that hatch that doesn't work if I can't find a red hatch. I had one red Durango come in and somebody grabbed the hatch immediately before I was able to get it. But that lock is messed up. The hatch is essentially shot anyway. And I think that's all of the... Oh, this seat belt here that was nibbled on. This needs to be replaced. This is annoying. I don't know if it was nibbled on so much as it wore out, because it's right here where it sits in the latch. See that? But this sucks. This needs to get taken care of, and so does that one on that side too. So seat belts, is that 6 or is that 7? I've lost count. Yeah, but you know, we've got a list of things that need to be taken care of. This needs to be self-tapered back in right here. This hitch needs to be flipped around because that annoys me, but I think it's kind of welded in there with rust, so I don't know if that'll come out. This bothers me. Probably just cut that off, make it look better. Then really, I need a nice can of clear coat. And then I need to scrub and sand this hood, sand the oxidation out of it, and just clear coat over it, because all of the clear coat is gone. So it will be a nice even coat of fresh clear over this nice paint that is oxidized as hell. But I might take the hood off and do that inside, because it's cold out, but we'll see. The temperatures are supposed to be nicer next week, and I might pull the pressure washer back out of storage to help get some work done. Might try to take this tire to the pressure washer too. And I need to figure out this bumper. I need to find another red bumper maybe, but that's cosmetic. That I can ignore. So yeah, we got a list of things to do here. But I want to start with the transmission, because if the transmission doesn't work, I'm going to lose motivation. I'm going to throw this in the backwoods. So yeah. No, I probably won't. I'll probably clean it up and list it for what I bought it for, saying it needs a transmission. At least I've done all the work of making it otherwise appealing-ish. So, yeah. Anyway, our current mileage is 158,955, and I'm going to stop rambling to you guys because it's been 6 minutes. Alright guys, so we're working on getting this carpet pulled up, and that requires this dash piece to come out. And for this dash piece to come out, this dash piece is going to come out. So, we're kind of going to do a quick how-to on how to get this dash apart. So it looks like this is all held on by clips here. I've got it mostly popped out here, as you can see. I'm kind of working my way around. Get most of this pulled out. Yep, oh, that clip stayed behind. There we go. That clip also stayed behind, as you can see, so I'll have to reattach those. Then we got to put this in gear here, and I can't do that with the damn carpet pulled down like I did here. So we gotta be careful here. Put that on the brake, put it in reverse, actually all the way down to drive, and there, now we've got it so this is free, and we should be able to get that out of the way. There, boom. Now we can access all the screws here, 2 in there, and then 2 down below that I've already removed to pull this middle panel out, to be able to get the carpet out around here. Just enough to pull it out, but I think this console's going to have to go next, because we'll have to be able to peel the carpet. I'm going to try peel it up and over so I don't have to remove this, but this has got to come out anyway for me to do the deep cleaning I want. So I'm kind of doing a 2 birds with 1 stone sort of thing. Get this tore apart so I can get all the stuff out. As you can see, mouse house is coming out of these vents, so this whole dash has got to come apart to get the HVAC box out. Clean all the crap that's in and under there to remove any sort of smell. Honestly, this vehicle doesn't smell that bad. The Jeep smelled way worse than this. And see, this is off a vent. This is a vent seal that has removed itself because the glue doesn't work. So, but yeah, stuff like that just needs to come out. In a general, this thing is like 25 years old, so it needs to come apart anyway. And I can get a really good clean on this cluster seal this inside. I'd never been able to scrub that. But yeah. On the bright side, I don't think I'm going to have to do as much wiring, because the wiring here, everything seems to work on this. But we shall see. You never know. But yeah, that's a quick little on this bit. And then it looks like the rest of this dash is just screws going all the way around to pull this dash top off. But I'll figure that out as I go. The list of screws has expanded. There's one under here which requires that panel to come out, which means there are 3 screws on the bottom. Pull that panel out, and because that one's there, I bet you there is another one under here. Oh, weird. Yep, there's one here, and I think I see one down there too. The glove box light's good though. I figured out the cigarette tray light bulb is burned out, unfortunately. Gonna have to replace that, maybe. So we gotta get the glove box out, then we can get 1, 2, and 3 more screws out, and maybe, just maybe, this will come out now. False alarm. It was only the 2 top ones. That bottom one is just a pass-through hole, as you can see. I turned the heat on. It's warmer, but boy does it smell worse. Yeah, we have to remove the monstrosity in there. I see a hinting of a mouse house poking out there. Nothing in here though. Wires all seem to look intact. What do we got going on here? So we got the wiper and the rear vent. That's all built into one harness. That makes sense. We got 2 power outlets. Aren't we fancy? And we got this light that don't work. Yeah, what kind of bulb does that take? I don't know. So, cool. We'll get this unhooked here, pull all these wires out, pull this piece back out of the way and continue on our journey to getting the carpet pulled up. And also taking the interior apart. It looks like we're embarking on that journey. Alrighty, to get this piece out. This bottom piece is actually just clipped in, so you pull up on that, but you got to make sure your boot, which is, it appears it's just like a springy wire. You just kind of pull in and then push it down, and it will go under here. And then under here, you got to remove your rubber pieces, and then depending on how many McDonald's fries were spilt in the cup holders, your 8mm hardware may or may not be super rusty. So get those out, and then I think this should decide to think about disconnecting itself here. At the very least. Yeah, see, we're getting some movement here. But I have a feeling that this should come up first, and it's not. So I think we're gonna have to do some more excavation on the console here, which will require probably pulling these out, and then whatever bolts are under there, or screws, or whatever you want to figure they are. So I need to locate my Phillips because I took it off to do the 8mm, because these are obviously different than all the other hardware in here. I will figure out how this comes apart and then come back. Something leaks somewhere. We got moisture in here. I didn't know there was a little bit of moisture under the floor mat and the carpet here. From something. Something leaks somewhere. There's moisture in here from something. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Doesn't smell like heater core, so I don't know if it was existing moisture from a leaky door seal, or leaky windshield, or clogged drains up for the front cowling, or something has allowed water to get in here at some point. So we'll work that out, but I noticed this got foggy. Alright, so all the fry eating was done back here. We'll get to that. I got that piece out. There's 2 more 8mm bolts right there, so I was able to get this up high enough to delete on that. But back here, I don't know what resembled the 8mm bolts are now nothingness. I'm gonna have to drill those out, I think. I tried spraying them out to see if I could see anything, but there's just nothing in there that resembles anything. And I think, honestly, I think they're peeling around them, because it's kind of stuck now. Got it in a weird spot. So I'm gonna mess with that a little more, see if I can't get them out, or whatever I end up doing. But yeah, got that front piece out, so probably the carpet will pull enough out of the way that I can do what I need to do. So that's cool, but I might just keep going. We'll see. Well, I tried pounding a few different size sockets in there, but instead we pulled the whole clip out, so I didn't break anything, so I'll have to just use a vice grip or something to get the clips off. But yeah, they're out. Let's see what that looks like. Rusty, but nothing I shouldn't have been able to get out, besides the fact that there was circles in there. I tried pounding a few different sockets on there, I couldn't get them, so. But the glove box is out, so we can really, I'm gonna do the 2 trim pieces over there, pull the carpet all the way back to the seats. But what is it to get the seats out? Probably not that much more. Probably a bolt under there. I see a bolt right there. There's probably 2 more down there. The seat belt appears attached to the seat in this instance, so I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I end up with next. Progress. Okay, so I got carpet pulled back. This has got wetness in it. It smells weird, but that is where I'm gonna attempt to cut. And hopefully that leads us somewhere good, and hopefully I don't cut through something I don't need to. We'll find out. We're in. There's our plug that's full of who knows what, needs to be blowing out really bad, and here's our connector. We're gonna start by cleaning that out and then putting some thermal, or not thermal, but dielectric grease in here. But that looks really bad in there, as you can see, and some of that I'm sure is from me knocking stuff around, but some of that isn't. So we're gonna start with that. But there's the perfect access hole for it, right here, just above those marks, as you can see. I'll be able to do something with that anyway. Alright, so I cleaned out that connector, cleaned out everything, put a bunch of dielectric grease on, plugged it back in. hook the battery up. Right now we do not have a check engine light. I'm not saying it works, but all I'm saying is that there is not a code for that solenoid in the system right now. And we have reverse. And we have first gear. Holy crap, that was it. I didn't even have to resplice it. I put dielectric grease on it, and we're in first gear. I can feel it because it tugs when it goes into gear. I'm gonna flip this carpet down, get my gas pedal put on, and I'm gonna try to take this thing for a test drive. Woo, that's good news. That is a 20-minute fix right there. Well, 20 minutes once I got this mess up. Couple hour fix. Ooh, we might be in business. But yeah, that it's almost like it's full of water or something. Some sort of fluid was in there. So, granted, I did have it disconnected before because I was up under there reaching around in there, and I disconnected it trying to figure out how to get in there. But I got it in there, so well, I got in there this way to be able to get at it, which that's a lot easier. I wish they had like a bolt-on plate or something, but you know, I don't think they had the foresight that was going to be a fail point. I'm gonna get this buttoned up a little bit, enough that it's drivable. So, ooh, that's good news. Oh no, in the time I've been buttoning it up, the check engine light's back on. Hopefully it's not for the transmission here. We're gonna find out here in a second. Otherwise I didn't really spend that much time. I folded the carpet down, bolted the gas pedal. Oh, I just dropped you. Sorry about that. Trying to find my seatbelt here. Alright, there we are. Please don't be back in limp mode again or I'll be sad. We're back out of the driveway here. Oh, here goes nothing. That might be first gear. That just shift? Can't tell. Stop and try it. You can tell if you're starting in second gear. Yeah, we're starting in second gear again. Dang it. Here. Well, maybe. First gear here. I think we're in limp mode again. Dang it, guys. Okay, well, I'll be back. Okay, so I was able to remove the check engine light by resetting the computer here. Let me flip you guys on. Boom. To do that, I just do this, and then I just do this and hold this for 10 seconds or so. But I did this a couple times. I was able to get in a little stretch that I had. I didn't set myself up for success. I got it to shift from 1 to 2 to 3 and then drop into 4th, and then it kicked the light on, and then after that it would do it between like 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So I brought it here, had it running, and I checked the trans fluid, and it was a little low. It's not like off the stick, but it was a little low. So I added like 3/4 of a quart, and I just reset it again, and I got myself pointed out. And we're going to see if we can get it to run through the gears again. Because who knows if it's just sticky. Because that trans fluid looks like trash, by the way. Okay, so we got no light on right now. Boom, that's first gear. Yep, that is first gear. I think that's second. Third gear. sure hope this thing just wasn't low on transmission fluid. That'd be an interesting outcome here. But, oh, we've been going for a little bit here, guys, and, no check engine light. We're in gear. Oh, there it is. That's a check engine light. So, as soon as I hit the brakes. Are we back in lit mode? I can't tell. Is that unrelated check engine light? Let's get up to speed here. I can't tell. I think we might be in lit mode. I want to put you down, guys, but I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to drive it, reset it, check the trans fluid, keep doing that a couple times. We'll just see if it kind of comes out of it. I don't know. I'm going to test it a little bit here, play around with it. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Okay, so I reset it again, and I had it going down the road on a straightaway. I think I was doing 50-53. It went through 1, 2, 3, 4, then dropped into overdrive, and it was driving just fine. I came down, I slowed down the hill, it was fine, came to a stop, and then it kicked on, and then I drove it home in the last mile in lit mode here. So I'm going to check the transmission fluid again, now that we've actually had it run through all of the gears, and the gear shifts seem fine, it didn't clunk, didn't bang. I think we're dealing with something superficial here. Not superficial, but not like heavy internal damage. I think it's either to do with that connector and or shitty fluid and or low fluid and or both, or a combination of all of the above. So I'm gonna keep messing around with it, like I said, see if I can get it to act better. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna see if I can find a headlight bulb for that, at least one that's got either low beam or high beam, one of the two. Just want 2 bulbs. So I think we're making some good progress here. Well, the reason that bulb doesn't work is because there is no bulb. I thought I saw one of the little connectors in there, like the little hold down the slidey, like you push it on and clip it and holds the bulb in. I saw that in there. I thought it was for this side for some reason, but it was for this side. I must have robbed it for something. So I need to go find one to rob to replace it, so I have a headlight. So, but yeah, that's why that doesn't work. Alright guys, so it's the next day here, and we're gonna do a quick cold run on this and see if it triggers the limp mode today. But my plan is, before I cut that sensor up and rewire it, I noticed something yesterday when I did this, or when it was actually shifting gears, is after a couple times that first 1 to 2 shifts seemed like it was kind of delayed or not proper. So these transmissions, this is a 4.6 RE paired with a 5.9 liter. We're supposed to have the bands adjusted every 100 or every 30,000 miles or so. Guarantee that never happened to this well, I don't guarantee it. I'm pretty certain it didn't. So it's possible, maybe, that the bands being so far out of adjustment could be a cause for our limp mode. But I want to see if it does it cold here with the transmission fluid thicker. Just for my knowledge here. I just want to try a couple things. So we're going to try this. We're going to fire this thing up. Fire this thing up. It's already got a check engine light set immediately. And it's already in limp mode. Like immediately. So, and this is how it acted before. It was always in limp mode right on startup. But when I messed with that connector, the limp mode was gone for a while, or just a little bit. Which is what brings me back to that connector. I don't know what to think. I'm going to put my scanner on it, and I'm going to get these codes again, because I don't remember exactly what they are. I believe it was something to do with first and fourth solenoid's stuck or something. We'll grab those codes and we'll come back. Alright, so we're gonna get the codes here. Turn the key off, turn the key on, enter. And 10 years later, this thing will decide to do its job. Yep, that's me. I think either way, whether we have to deal with this connector or not, we're going to do the transmission fluid service and band adjustment, which I will show you how I figure it out as I go. I read a couple forums posts on the process on how to do it and the service manual bulletin for it. Should be pretty straightforward. But one of them, the rear band, requires a pull in the pan, so I'll pull the pan, obviously to change the fluid and filter, and we'll do the band adjustment while we're in there. And then the front one, I believe, is external for the front band, so it should be pretty straightforward here. Okay. Overdrive solenoid circuit. P0753, solenoid circuit, meaning electrical. P0753 solenoid circuit. And then I think that's it. That's it. So will it let me erase it? Yep, that's me. Come on. We might fiddle with this a little more. Actually, I've reversed my course. Also because it's really, really cold and it's warmer in here than it is out there. I'll tell you, the computer on this truck is really, really, really slow. Oh boy. The light is gone. Shall we try it now? There's first gear. Got second. See, it feels kind of weird when it does that, and then it just tripped into frickin' limp mode. Well, as we can see, it flipped into limp mode, kind of going from the 1 to 2 shift here. But it's the overdrive circuit. Anyway, if I can clear it from here, it's a little easier than yanking the battery every second. But now it's taking its sweet time to once again communicate. Okay. Yep, overdrive solenoid circuit, got it. Now we want to go here. Race codes, yes. Key on, engine off. Okay. Clear these codes right here. And then we're going to hit it off running because we're kind of on a straightaway right here. And I'll just see if I can get it to go through the gears. Yep, light just went out. Okay, again. Okay, we're in first gear. Nope, immediately into second. Okay, so we'll get this thing back to the house and I'll figure out what I'm going to do here next and I will let you know. So I took that connector back apart, cleaned it, reset codes, and now we've got a completely different code, which is P1765, which is the power relay circuit, also running through that connector. So we've also got the evap purge solenoid is not working, but we're going to ignore that. But now we've got P1765 instead of 0753, And the forums post that I initially read that told me to do this connector also said they were getting this code. So I'm pretty sure it's that connector in there. So I'm going to take it back off again. I'm going to clean it again. I'm going to put some more dielectric grease on it. We're going to try it, see what happens here once again. And when that doesn't work, I am going to probably redo that connector like I was going to initially do. But yeah, messing with it seems to change the codes. So I think we're on to something. But yeah, we'll just nice. Okay, so I cleaned that connector again. I reapplied the thermal grease, and guess who's back? PO753 overdrive. Interesting. Yeah, I think we know what it is. I think we know it's that. So we're gonna replace that connector and then be sad when it isn't that. But you know. So they say that you should be able to test, coming from the PCM, the voltage for the overdrive solenoid, and then you should be able to test it there. My multimeter is dead, doesn't work anymore, so we really can't do that. I could go buy one, but I'm not gonna. So I'm pretty confident in this, just by the way that it acts. But we shall see. Wiggle the connector again. The light stayed off for a good minute, and then it tripped the 1765 again. I'm gonna wiggle that some more. Kind of try kick it in a couple different weird spots. I just want to see if I can get it to not come on. Well, that's a new one. Torque converter solenoid circuit. Yeah, it does. If I mess with that thing right there, it seems to throw all of the codes. So we're gonna read codes again, see if it's triggered anymore while it's running here. Yep, so now it's torque converter solenoid circuit. Okay, so we fixed the other two, made a new one. Let's wiggle it again. P1765 power circuit. Okay. We'll shut her down, erase codes, and wiggle the wires again. PO753 overdrive circuit. Okay. So it changes codes. So let's just erase the codes without touching this and see if it changes without touching the plug. And it changed again. I didn't touch that code reader, or I didn't touch the plug, the pigtail. Huh. Okay, so I'll be back. I'm gonna do some work here. We'll see if I'll bring you back if I find anything new. Hey, forget me if I'm wrong. Didn't I check this? Did I not check that? I definitely didn't. This is the transmission relay. Well, no wonder it's doing all sorts of funky shit. Look at that. How did I miss that? See, So, yeah, so it comes. So the way this works is that wire comes from the PCM. You know, the transmission, whatever. The communication comes from the computer over here. Comes through relay 31 and goes into that plug. Well, yeah, that's not going to do anything. You know, Take that out, put that back in a few times, put some dielectric grease on it. Bruh. Number 31. Unless I had this backwards, because see how this panel is, how it's like opposite, so you flip it like that, and that's what it's backwards. Maybe it's possible. I might have to go back and look at footage. But we're gonna take this relay, and so this is. Oh, here, I got an idea. Here's a fuel pump relay, guys. We're going to take this, put that in the fuel pump relay, and see if that works. Because they're the same relay, right? Well, you know what? You know what? I was in here. I wasn't in here for the transmission. I was in here looking at the fuel pump relay. Anyway, the relay works, but the connection's shitty. Let's put this good one in here with some dielectric grease on it, see if we get any life out of that. And while I'm here, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to make sure my plug is in there good. It is. Take some dielectric grease here. And let's fix this right up. Yeah, I'm misremembering. I was in here looking for the fuel pump relay, guys. That's what I was doing. I recall this now, because we didn't have a good fuel pump originally. So, put that in there. Try that. Let's clear codes, you know, do all that jazz. Shut the engine off. Turn this on. Erase codes. Yes, yes, yes. I think we found it this time. That connection in there is corroded. Bruh. But why is it corroded? Why is it just that one? It doesn't matter right now. Let's see if this fixes it. Otherwise, I gotta take that box apart and get at that little connector and replace him or clean him up in some fashion. Take it, guys. Okay, codes remaining 0. Check engine light immediately. But could that be for the purge solenoid there? In theory? Nope, the only code we got is overdrive solenoid circuit. P0753. And if I put the car in reverse, we got reverse. That feels like a drive 2 clunk. Well, I'm gonna fiddle around with that, my newfound culprit, and go from there. Okay, so we're attacking this fuse box, and the first thing you want to do is disconnect your battery. The next thing you want to do is there's one 10mm bolt right there. Take that out, and then you've got a clip here, which I broke this one, and then you've got a clip here you got to push, and I use a small little baby screwdriver. And then you've got 2 cables here. You got a negative and a positive, and they are impossible to get backwards because they are different sizes on purpose. Negative is the smaller one here, the 10, and then the positive is this 13. And then they make the holes on the connectors different sizes, so you can't put the negative on the positive, which means you can't put them and get them mixed up. So now that we got it loose here, I think I'm going to try pop this off around here. I'm going to see if I can get it apart this way. Otherwise, we're going to pull this connector off so I can flip it all the way over and get at the connector on the bottom here for this harness. But we'll see what I end up doing here. Okay, so I was able to get this bottom piece off, but apparently this plastic has gone through so many heat cycles, as brittle as can be. Remember this connector over here? He broke off. Like, it snapped off. Anyway, I got all the other clips to pop out. And now we can see under here, which should, in theory, enable us to get at the plug that we need to. But he's over here. Yeah, so we... Okay, so in theory, I should be able to turn this over and get at the cable I need to repair it. So I'm going to work on that for a bit here, see if I can get that out and see if I can repair it. We'll go from there. Well, that was a pain in the ass to get out of there. But I hope that's the problem here. Sure suck if it wasn't. But yeah, he's corroded. So we'll try clean that up the best I can here. See what I can do about it anyway. And we will be sourcing a PCM online. I did fix that corroded pin there. I pulled that panel apart. It's a pain about to do. And then I pulled that connector out and I cut it and I spliced a new one on and put it back up there. And so that corrosion's gone. That's not an issue anymore. I'm starting to think that the connector inside on the trans is not bad, just because of the way that it acts and that it throws a different code when I touch nothing by only resetting the engine lights. So I'm pretty sure that guy's just fucking fucked up. So we're gonna take care of that, get a new PCM, call it a day, and I think that'll solve it. Obviously you will know. I don't know right now. So we'll cross that road when we get there. Alright, so made a trip to U-Pull today. We were gonna look for a PCM for this guy since we know that it's bad. Based on all of the random codes it gives. It's not energizing that relay that turns on the transmission, is what it appears. That's where I'm at, and I've realized I'm definitely right, because every single 5.9 PCM is gone. Even the one that came in yesterday, it's gone. So we're going to order ourselves a Remand one, I think from Flagship One online. Give them the VIN, give them the mileage, and just be done with it. I think it's like $200, and then I know it's good. Versus gambling on, hey, this one could be bad at the U-Pull too. But I did snag some goodies. I just noticed this lens was cracked, and we're going to live with that. But I got the screws I need to get this back together, and I got all of the pigtails to replace these because these are all corroded, which is why they don't work and why it was off in the first place. But this bumper, can't find a red one that's the metal one here. But I think this was like an 0102 Dakota. Had this chrome one. And it's solid. I don't like the gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bumper, and you can take this plastic piece off. We're going to take the plastic off, and we're going to put the red bottom on the chrome. And then you can't just have the chrome bumper and not get the chrome grill, guys. You just gotta. This one's all cracked up and messed up anyway, so we're going to put a little lipstick on this old, I don't want to call it a pig, but I'm gonna. We're going to put a little bit of lipstick on this old pig, and we're going to, increase her value just a little bit. It'll look a lot better. I'm gonna tell you that much. Just having this not be a giant hole that I keep catching my coat on, and the shiny chrome will kind of take away from this. I still want to like 3000 grit sand this, get the oxidation out of it, and just kind of rattle can of clear over it. And I think that will help too. So it's supposed to get into the 60s again next week, and I think I'll try to tackle that then. But yeah, I got that. Got the chrome, got the bumper, got the pigtails and stuff for the turn signals and the lights, and I've got a new headlight bulb. Well, I got new headlight bulbs for the neon because the neon burned out this headlight, but this headlight's good. That will replace the bad one on that side, and then we've got two headlights again because they're all 9007s. I was looking for a hatch. Honestly, I think I'm going to go with any color I can find that's not rotten, because I'll just rattle can it red. Look at the rest of the paint on this thing. It's not great. If we can get it vaguely red, we'll be okay. But I didn't find one, unfortunately. So instead we got to deal with the one that this thing doesn't lock because the lock was so seized that we crowbarred it open or whatever. And it's obviously rotten, so... yeah. But But we got the bumper situation taken care of. But yeah, that's with the red on the bottom here. This is gonna look, it's gonna look good. All right, guys, just got back from Thanksgiving last night, and it snowed, as you can see here. I'm gonna get the grill out of the way here. I got ourselves, ooh, my paint pen. I was looking for that. I got us a drive computer, or a PCM, or whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna put that in today. Get this jumper cable crap out of here. That was worth a shot. Not really. Let's get this stuff out of here. Be gone. Be gone. I don't even think I punctured that cable, which is why that fix didn't work anyway. So these cheap crimps don't work. Gotta get the good ones. Right ones for that gauge of wire anyway. Set that there, put that in my pocket. Anyway, yeah, so we got ourselves a new computer from Flagship One. I paid $291 for it. And we're gonna hope we fix all of our issues. Looks like, to get the computer out though, it is 3 bolts, and it's 1, 2, and 3, and they look like 8s or Phillips head. But I'm not gonna get a Phillips one because I'm not gonna take the box out here. Make sure your battery's unhooked. It's unhooked. I don't know what that's from. I think that's the fuse box, because I got the fuse box all tore apart here. But it's hooked up. I just don't have it put back in. Yeah, I recall now. Yeah. We're going to put this inside the vehicle here so I don't lose it. And inside the vehicle is full of stuff too. Oh boy, do we get a mess here. And I got to patch that. I needed that cut so I could get back in there, because I pulled the connector out from underneath, but I couldn't get it back in. So that was required anyway, so I don't feel bad for doing that. Yeah, so it's just 3 bolts there. We're going to take those off, put the new computer in, and I'll bring you back when we got the new computer in and hook up the battery, and we'll hopefully it runs. So that's step 1. Hopefully it runs. Well, here's our old guy, part number 147AE, and here's our new guy with our security seal from Flagship One, 147AE, and they look the same, except this one's been refinished on. Really, they just grinded all the paint off, and then, I don't know, seal coated it. Probably did nothing, but there you go. Look the same. Alright, so new computer's in, it's screwed in. I'll double check in here, make sure everything's hooked up. It looks like it is. I see the connectors in there. Everything's in here. I mean, we were running it before, so I think we're all good to hook the battery up. Cross our fingers. Battery's hooked up. It should have a charge. Computer's hooked up. Fuse box is on. I got door dinger. Alright, you ready, guys? Mileage still shows proper, as it should. Runs. Door ajar light, ABS light. ABS light was on before. No check engine light yet. I'm gonna let it run. I'm gonna let it warm up here, and I'm gonna clean off this seat and everything. But we have no check engine light, and you guys saw it but come on almost immediately before. Motor sounds okay. It sounds cold, but it sounds all right. It's running good. Got oil pressure, we're charging, got half tank of gas, and it's idling just below $1,000, which is perfect. Mileage is correct though, that's the big one right there, which, so what I hear is the mileage is stored in the cluster on these, or in another location, but it's also stored in that PCM. So I think that PCM, either it will read 0, or with their programming on first startup, I think it leaves the VIN number, don't quote me on this, it leaves the VIN number blank, and on first startup that PCM will pull the VIN number from the system it is on, and then it might pull the mileage too, and then it matches, I think. Maybe. Don't quote me on that, but either it's going to read 0 and it will pull this VIN number, or it just has some random VIN number in it. I don't think it has a random VIN number. I think if the VIN number spot is blank on that write once read only memory on that new PCM, it will pull the VIN number from the system it gets plugged into, and then it will hold that VIN number. So that should be right. It should be good. But that doesn't necessarily matter because our mileage is right on the cluster and everything is working. So I really don't care what the PCM says, and I don't think anybody else does either, because everybody else, to get these, keep these running, they pull the ones from the junkyard. So it don't matter as long as it's running, and we got no check engine light. So I think this fixed it, guys. This thing was parked 14 years ago because it needed a new PCM. And now, in theory, she should be back on the road once again. What that leaves for us, guys, is now that it's running, we are going to do a transmission service. That means we are going to drop the pan, drain the fluid, change the filter. But we're also going to attempt to adjust both sets of bands on this transmission, because these transmissions are supposed to have their bands adjusted. Not that anybody does that, but we are going to. It certainly will not hurt. And there's a process behind that that I will let you guys in on, but you can also find online on any of the Dodge forums, or in like a Haynes or whatever manual, service manual you want to use. Chilton's the one I was going for. So, but other than that, we also need to take this interior out. We're gonna gut it, clean it, you know, de-smellify it. It doesn't smell that bad here, surprisingly. It needs new seat belts here because these are wore through. I gotta get 2 new front seat belts for it. But we'll get these seats all cleaned up the best we can. We'll clean the carpet, extract the carpet the best we can. It's winter, so a lot of that's going to be in the basement work. So it's going to be without the pressure washer. It's going to be exclusively with my extractor. Then we got to, obviously what's left, all this dirt and dust and debris that got to get cleaned up. We got to put this back on, patch that, seal that. Scrub down all the door panels, scrub down everything. Remove any mice nests we find. There's probably one in the dash somewhere that we're going to have to locate. Still no check engine light, guys. And then we need a new hatch. We need a new hatch for the rear, because this one, one, it's rotten, and 2, the lock is busted. So there's nothing holding this thing shut besides gravity, because the shocks are bad, which is good. So it's holding it shut. I gotta flip that hitch around because I hate how that is, if I can get it out. Like, I gotta put a couple self-tappers into this bumper bracket right here because it's kind of hermetically, not hermetically, but it's like froze like in that position. It's been like that a while. General cleanup stuff, maintenance. Shouldn't need an oil change. It's got fresh oil in it. And then just got to drive it a little bit, make sure it stays good. And then this whole girl, I think, will go up for sale as somebody's winter beater. It's rusty. It's really rusty. I know it's really rusty. But mechanically, it's sound. Brakes are all good. We fixed that. The frame is fine. It's just, it's rusty on the rockers, and I think this body mount's gone. But it's got all the other body mounts and all that jazz. Mechanically, it's sound. I don't think it's going to fall apart. It just doesn't look the greatest. And I think it'll be somebody's winter vehicle for the next year or two. And it'll be a cheap winter vehicle at that. I ain't going to list it for that much. We'll see what I can get for it, though. I don't think I'll get more than 2. But I don't got that into it, so that's good enough for me. And we've saved it from the crusher, so. Oh, you know what else we got to do? We got to fix the headlights and stuff, which I've got. I've got the new harnesses. I've got some bulbs for it, so we got to do that too. Got to do that too. But yeah, nope. I think we got it beat, guys. So no check engine light, ABS light. That ain't gonna go away, I don't think. But that's not a big deal. I'm gonna let it warm up here, and then we'll take it for a ride. All right, got the seat cleaned up. Got the carpet folded back in. Like I said, it's got to come back out. 1, to get clean, and 2, I got to patch that. But it's in. I can sit in it. But I'm gonna let the window defrost here. Heat's starting to warm up here. As you can see, we got temp gauge coming up. So I'll let this warm up, and we will take it for its first ride with the new PCM. Get some air in this tire, specifically this one, but I'm gonna check them all. The old compressor here, fire up. Old, I say, but it's not. All right. Got the tires all aired up. 40 in the back, 33 in the front. I believe it said something like that. Get the wipers all done. A little bit of fog here in the, or moisture in the inside of the window here, but not too bad. Well, should clear up here. If I can get my seatbelt, see this seatbelt's got that tear in it, so it's hard to work with here. If I can find my buckle here. Yeah. There we go. Still no check engine light. That's the only light we got, is that ABS light. Brakes still work. Put it in reverse. Goes into gear. We'll back out of the driveway here. See what I'm doing here. Okay, it's in gear, first gear, and that is definitely first gear. There's second. Third. Fourth. And overdrive. We got our whipped guys and gals. That right there is our 1999 Dodge Durango. Transmission issue fixed after 14 years parked in a field. Stop, come back up, and it still seems to work here. I hear things falling everywhere behind me. Yep. She's all fixed. Get her out on the tarmac here and we'll put her to work. Brakes work great. It's nice. And two-wheel drive, I think, in the snow here. Grip's alright still. Oh yeah, downshift. Look at that. Shifts. This thing is shifting great. Giving her some throttle here. But not that much. This motor's got some power, I'll tell you that. Road looks a little icy, so I don't know how much I'll be able to give it, but should be able to get it up to speed anyway. Should put it in 4 is what I should do. Yeah, spinning the rear tires. Yeah, let me put it in 4. Oh yeah, nice slippy and slidey. Put it in neutral, drop it in 4 high, put it in reverse. Yeah, we got grab. Okay. Put it back in drive. A little better. Yeah, that helps a lot. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. Windshield wipers. And overdrive. Oh yeah, look at that. transmission works great. Once again, a Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth transmission issue is not the transmission, but instead the computer that controls it. That is a very, very commonplace thing with these transmissions. You hear a lot about them. Oh, these transmissions suck. I got to replace my transmission, this, and that. Usually it's not the transmission itself, but it is a electronically controlled module that goes with it, whether it be the drive computer or like a valve body or a shift solenoid or this and that. It's usually not the transmission itself. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna drive it back home real quick, make sure everything's all good here, and I think we can check that one off the list as fixed, which that was the big hurdle. Now we can actually, you know, use it as a fully functional vehicle here and eventually sell it as one. That is great news, guys, and I hope this might be able to help a few of you out there who haven't figured theirs out just yet. So very good pull. Well, made it back home. I don't know, I think that was like 969 or something miles, so we made it 8-9 miles. No problems whatsoever. Let's shut her down. Fires right back up. No lights. And actually, yep, there's the ABS light. I was like, oh, maybe the ABS light's got, nah, it's still there. Don't know what that is, and honestly, I don't care. Everything works. So, very good. Put it in reverse here. Yep, goes into reverse gear, put it in drive. That is definitely first gear. So, transmission's fixed. Transmission is fixed. Ooh, I'm excited for that, guys. Because now that gives me all the motivation I need to finish this Durango once again. I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Appreciate you watching if you watched this far. Like I said, I hope this maybe helped you guys solve your issue with your Durango, and or at least you have it in mind in the event yours does this. So, thanks for watching, guys.